The movie that I chose is Sleepless in Seattle, and the theory that I chose is emotional intelligence. Psychology Today states that the emotional intelligence is the ability to manage one's own emotions as well as the emotions of others. So Sleepless in Seattle, I would say Sam and Jonah and Annie and Walter that live in different parts of America definitely represent how emotional intelligence throughout this movie is portrayed. Why did I choose this movie? It's very cute. Jonah's super cute, and it's actually a very emotional and tender movie, and something that is very realistic, even though it was set in the 90s. Let's see. Rough earlier models of emotional intelligence have come from numerous prior beings, such as Wayne Payne in 1985, Lunar in 1966, Greenspan 1989, Slovene, Mayer 1990, and the most impactful model would be from Daniel Goleman in 1998. This is what my video is going to be based upon, Daniel Goleman's EI model. In learningtheories.com, it states that this model drives emotions and strengths and weaknesses such as these 5 elements, such as self-awareness, knowing one's emotions, self-regulation, how one manages other disruptive emotions in your life, social skills, managing other emotions, empathy, understanding and recognize other people's feelings, and motivation, motivating yourself. EI, emotional intelligence, can affect communication interactions because if none of these are met, then it'd be very detrimental to the relationships that are going to be portrayed, like feelings hurt, loss of people in life, social engagements, and this is all going to be portrayed in this movie, and I'll be talking about some of these. The points that I will be talking about, I'm going to start with the very beginning, whenever Sam and Jonah are tackling with the mother's death. You know, they move to Seattle, and he's ready to get out there. Sam's ready to go date, and he's like, his friend, they're sitting at the bar, and he's like, when's the last time you dated? And he's like, I don't know, like 1978. It's like, okay, this is how it happens. You become friends, you like each other, you start kissing, which could last years, and then the test, which would be sex, and then sex with a condom, and then you start splitting the check. So basically you're dating, but you're not in an official relationship. So this is very detailed, and this is just completely news and off the wall to Sam, and this just shows that he's just trying to move up and just adapt to all these changes that are happening in his life. Next, we'll talk about Annie, how she just got engaged to Walter. She's super excited, she's just constantly talking, the relationship is super forced. He has these gluten allergies, and she always shows this agitation. And so then after she's listening to this phone call when Jonah calls in about his dad, she's hooked. She's crying. And then they both are always talking about this magic that a relationship is supposed to have. So she's talking with her best friend while she's watching a movie, and she's crying, and she wants to write a letter to Sam and Jonah and saying that she wants to meet them, and her best friend's just like, you compare love to a movie, marriage isn't like that, and asks how Walter's doing because that's how what she should be concerned with. Says, did I say love talking about my husband's? I don't mean that. So she doesn't really understand love, you know. And this shows that Annie's struggling with sore empathy throughout the movie for Sam and Jonah. She wants to reach out to them. She loves them. She's crying. She is trying to write a letter to them. The next example of Annie talking about the empathy as well would be to Dennis, a coworker. She goes up to him and she's like walks and storms in his office. She's like, hey, what's going on? It's like, is marriage supposed to be about fireworks? He's like, basically, I married my wife because she told me that's all I could do. So throughout the thing, I would say that Jonah shows social skills in the movie while helping Dad move toward Annie. There's a part where Dad's trying to, date again, and he's just like, thanks for the potatoes. I've never seen him cook that way. You could tell he just didn't want to be his dad to be dating. And then finally we have the end scene with Jonah and Sam and Annie when they finally meet, and they cannot take that interpersonal communication where they cannot take their eyes off each other, compared to Walter and Annie that were just so weird and so awkward and just did not intermix. Sleepless in Seattle shows intense and huge amounts of empathy and emotions, and the Institute for Health and Human Potential reminds us that emotional intelligence is learning how to manage emotions through changes, setbacks, challenging relationships, giving and receiving feedback. The movie hit it right on the nail with all aspects of emotional intelligence.